another recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm here with my glam squad, Enzo, also my stylist, does my hair and makeup. He gives me legal advice. He's my manager and my agent. All in one. It's a package deal. We are now on season 5, episode 3, Sip and See You Later. And as I promised from the beginning of this season, these ladies do not disappoint. For my money, they give more drama, more humor, and in a lot of cases more style than many of the other franchises. This season particularly, I'm going to say they're now on a higher level than New York. They're below Beverly Hills, because Beverly Hills this season, wow, who knew this was going to turn into be such an amazing season. Frustrating, but definitely amazing. So anyway, let's jump right in. And first of all, we get to have a little overview of all the horrible things that Candiace has said about Ashley. And let's remember that she went on this massive attack of Ashley at its peak right around the time Ashley was in the hospital pushing out a baby. Candiace, you are slimy. I hadn't made my mind up about you until this season, and now I think that you are just a biatch. Going after Ashley in such a vicious way, it's kind of like picking on a little baby deer, a little fawn. I mean, Ashley is not the one in the group that has the skills and the power and the dynamic personality to really handle this. I mean, she's not going to go sob in the corner, but really, Ashley's kind of like the gentlest of the ladies. I don't know what her beef is with her. I really don't. But anyway, so we do a little review of we've all talked about when I did my recap of episode 1 and 2. We talked about how she said you're like a roach, just laying on your back, taking it from a man. Calling her a hoe, saying that her husband was her overseer. Okay, so again, just to remind you, Ashley is a multi-ethnic woman, and she is married to an extremely white man. Michael is so white, he's transparent. So calling your wealthier, older husband your overseer is foul. Not as bad as the roach, though. I won't bring it up again this time. I know last time I was so upset by it, I brought it up like 5 times, but it's just so nasty. You know, Candiace's mother has famous truism: psychologists, psychiatrists, heal thyself. So often people who are in the business of healing other people's minds are themselves messed up. We know that Candiace's mother is pretty messed up. She can be pretty nasty. And, Candiace doesn't, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So, anyway, yeah. The overseer thing, this was the first time I saw that, and that just really stabbed me. That is horrendous. Okay. All right. So we are at the end of the dinner that started in the second half of episode 2. And Candiace is in the hot seat. She's in the hot seat for a few reasons. She's in the hot seat for the things that she said or tweeted about Ashley while she was giving birth. And she's also in the hot seat for her sudden mysterious friendship with Charisse. Right at the time when Candiace and Monique's friendship was splitting apart, and also coinciding with Charisse deciding to just go after Monique with everything that she had about the shade that Monique had been sleeping with her personal trainer and was running around DC and Alexandria with him. And I used to like Charisse. When Charisse was on the show, there was very little not to like about her. She was the OG of the show, and I was kind of disappointed when she decided to leave. But this is such an ugly, nasty side of her. Listen, I understand why there would be a large degree of jealousy against Monique. Monique is a goddess. She is, I'm sure, the wealthiest of all the women on the show. She has, I believe, she has a husband who adores her. She has a beautiful family. She is literally kind of doing it all. And she has style to die for. Monique's hair choices, makeup, style, she's on top. She really is. She's amazing. I admire her a lot. And I think that yeah, if you're going to pick a target and you're going to attack someone and you're going to try and tear someone down, I can see why an older woman, not that Charisse is older, oh my god, they're all younger than me. I think the only one, oh my god, you guys, I'm older than Karen. I think I'm older than Karen. I'm 58. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm older than Karen. Wow. Okay. Not that I'm not, Karen looks great. I'm not saying she's old. It's just sometimes the passing of time just startles me. Anyway, okay. All right. So all of this during this dinner, Candiace is just making excuses, and then she's saying, you know what, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to have these conversations in front of other people. That's not fair. It's not fair to air these things in front of other people. It's not fair to air these things, differences between the ladies, in front of the group. Hello, have you met the Housewives franchise? Have you met Andy Cohen? Have you met Bravo? It is the end-all and be-all of this entire franchise. You have to air your dirty laundry and everyone else's dirty laundry and all of your personal vendettas against, whether it's one person, 2, 3, whatever. You air it in front of the group. Otherwise, we don't have a show. We have ladies getting together for parties, galas, and various things, and then going off on their own and having fights that we don't see on air. No, it doesn't work that way, Candiace. You don't get to change. You don't get to rewrite the show. If you continue to try and do that and say you're not going to play, that's a good way to get kicked off. Okay, because you're not that essential at this point. Your husband Chris seems like a nice guy and all that. I have no problem with him, but right now you are pissing me off, girl. And yeah, you're behaving very, very badly. So watch it. Because things can turn. People can turn on you. And Bravo can turn on you like that. You think Lisa Vanderpump ever thought that she was going to get thrown off the show? No, she thought she was invincible. So don't kid yourself that you, with your little couple years on the show, are so important. Okay? Just a little word of warning. Anyway. Okay. So she just keeps kind of like making her excuses, doesn't want to engage, doesn't want to do her apologies to Ashley, which are sorely needed. She must apologize to Ashley, good Lord. And I still don't know what someone please send me a comment and tell me, what was it originally that Ashley ever did to Candiace to make Candiace so hateful toward Ashley? It's very weird. It's like, it's very, very weird. Okay, so, Robin reminds Candiace, look, you are acting like you're Miss Demure here and you don't want to get in fights with anybody, but you have gotten in very vocal and, out there fights. You threw a knife at a dinner party. You threw it was at Ashley. I thought she was fighting with Monique at that point, but yeah, I think she threw the knife. It looks like in the footage that she threw the knife at Ashley. Okay, now she didn't take like one of those throwing knives in the circus, you know, with a sharp point and throw it at her throat. It was more like having something in your hand, like whether it's a set of keys or a hairbrush, and hurling it at somebody. But you know what? You can't let yourself get so angry that, oh, I threw something at her. I threw whatever I had in my hand at her. Oops, I didn't realize it was a knife. I think it was just a dinner knife. But, you know, what if it had been a steak knife? Or what if it was something she was cooking with in the kitchen? Anyway, she can get very out of control. And she's trying to act so demure. So Robin reminds her of that, and she tells Robin, shut the F up. Do not talk to my Robin like that. Do not disrespect Robin. I love Robin. Please. And this is Robin's season. Do not disrespect Robin. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, regardless, you know, now Candiace and Charisse are buddy-buddy. They both clearly seem to hate Monique. You know, Charisse, as we discussed before in episode, I don't think 1, I think in 2, that Charisse is just passing it all over town about Monique having sex with her trainer. And I don't even think at this point this is fresh news. I think it's been around for a while. But, you know, Charisse is still just, you know, throwing that dirt, throwing that shade. She just, for whatever reason, Charisse hates Monique and wants to see her broken. And the really creepy thing about it is, well, Charisse, I'm sorry your marriage failed, but you know, Monique and her husband seem to love each other. I don't know if she did or didn't have sex with her personal trainer. I don't know, but I can tell you this. They have a family, and her husband loves her. So throwing that kind of shade, you can destroy a family. You can destroy a whole family. And there is, I don't really believe in hell because I'm not Christian, but you know, there is, I can still say there's a special place in hell for people that do that, who break up families, okay? I'm more of a reincarnation girl, so you're going to come back as a cockroach. Okay. All right. So, you know, at this dinner, yeah, Monique is also coming hard at Candiace over Charisse, and like, where did this friendship come from? And why didn't you tell me that all of a sudden? Why didn't you say, look, Monique, I know that you are having this problem with Charisse, and I know that she's throwing this shade about you and your personal trainer, whatever. But I just want to let you know that, you know, Charisse and I are kind of becoming close. We've found some things in common, and we've you know, found a kind of sisterhood, and we've really become good friends. Candiace does apologize to Monique for not letting her know about the friendship and the extent of the friendship and how close it was becoming. Okay, Karen wants to just stop the quarrel. Karen's sitting there being very quiet, very demure. And, you know, she makes the point. Karen makes a good point. She is the grande dame. She is the older lady. Younger than me. She says, look, Candiace and Ashley need to settle this on their own. Maybe in this case, okay, they really do need to go and settle it on their own because it's not going to happen in a group setting. All right. So there's some progress made. Theoretically, Candiace and Ashley will talk at some point. I'm sure Ashley would be happy to talk. I bet you Candiace is never. That conversation is probably never going to happen because accountability is not Candiace's strong suit at all. Okay. Now, I would say, Ashley, don't trust that girl as far as you can throw her. Candiace is a snake. Don't trust her. Don't, you know, take her apology, smile at her, but don't trust her. She's shown herself. She has shown her true self to you. And you know what? When someone says loudly, look at me, look at me, look at how I am to you, look at how I feel about you, look at what kind of person I am, listen to him. She's told you. Listen to her. Believe her. Okay. All right. Interestingly, when the cameras are off, the mics are still on. And as soon as the cameras are off, Candiace, after acting like she's all peaceful with everybody, goes immediately after Monique and was like, why did you tell me? You told me there wasn't going to be any drama tonight. You told me I wasn't going to be attacked, and then you attacked me about my relationship with Charisse. So, a little bitchy attack on Monique there. But you know what? Monique is like, no, we can air this in the group setting, which is the Bravo way. It is the Real Housewives way to air everything in the group setting. And if you don't like that, well, honey, you are on the wrong show. All right, now, Michael and Ashley are buying an outfit for the baby for the sip and see. Ashley, who is, kind of the OCD mom, or quite the OCD mom, is concerned about how much touching she wants of Dean, of the little boy, of the baby. So she's comfortable with people, she's not comfortable, but she can make herself comfortable with people holding the baby, but she's not comfortable with them kissing the baby. So they decide that they're just going to tell everybody, Dean hasn't had his immunizations yet, or he's only had one immunization, so we prefer that you didn't kiss the baby. The people can wash their hands. You should do that anyway. I mean, I don't have children, but I know I have many, many, many girlfriends who've had many, many, many babies. And I have baby sense. I have good baby sense. And the first thing you do when you're going in to see a new baby or your friend's new baby is you wash the crap out of your hands. I mean, you just really, make sure that I do, that you're super sterilized up to the elbow. And I'm not going near them if I have had a cold even in the last week. Their little immune systems are very delicate. Yes, we're all very sensitive of that now because of Miss Rona, but even before Miss Rona, I've always been super, super careful about babies. But not everyone is, so that's okay. They can tell everyone, wash your hands before you hold the baby, and then please don't kiss the baby. Well, Candiace is coming to the sip and see. Ashley, you are so nice. Ashley has always been too nice, to the point where people can run over her. I don't think that girl has an evil bone in her body. I think she is one of the sweetest people on any of the Housewife franchises. I've always really liked her. I've always felt very protective about her. And so she's, she invited Candiace as a gesture of goodwill. I would not want that bitch around my baby. Anyway, good for her. She's a nicer woman and a better woman than I am. Or at least a nicer woman than I am. Okay. Michael's kind of being an asshole to Ashley. He's like, can we kind of hurry up, and they're buying the outfit for the sip and see, which they should both be doing together. And he's kind of like, can we hurry up and get this over so I can get back to work? And she makes a comment, which is, kind of a very intimate thing to share, that, that she feels like they're close in terms of parenting and being with the baby and being together, but they have not been able to enjoy sex because it's been painful for her. She had a rough, long labor. And, let's face it, Michael, at the best of times, he's just not the warmest human being. I mean, who has ever watched this show and thought, I really like that Michael? I'm talking about, let's take all the scandals out of it, all of the shade about him playing grab ass with different guys and flirting with men and whatever. Even with all that aside, he's really unlikable. And you know how hard it is to be an Australian man and be that unlikable? Because Aussies are great, and it's like they're usually so, whether they're really rich or whether they're, bartenders or, gardeners or whatever, they're very open. It's like South African men. I mean, they're very cool and very chill, and Michael's he's not warm. He's not lovable. I have to admit, I don't get Ashley's attraction for Michael. But I'm not going to sit here like Candiace and say, oh, it's just money. She's just, laying on her back for him. Okay, now we have a brief scene at Giselle's kind of funky cabin, which she's fixing up. Robin comes by, and Giselle, remember, is the only one who knows that Juan is going to propose to Robin. I'm so excited about that. That makes me very happy. Much more so than Giselle and Jamal. I'm not sure about Jamal. Jamal gives me kind of shady vibes. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so Giselle obviously is not gonna say a word about that, but Giselle and Robin have a pretty close friendship. They have a very close friendship. Yeah, I just think Robin is too pretty for that chopped off, suburban housewife haircut. She's cooler than that. She's too cool for it, basically. But whenever she goes for kind of like a shoulder length look, it's just so much cuter. And I know that she's sporty, she's athletic. I always say this. I know that her look is different. And I like that. I like that about her. But she's got a really athletic body. I mean, again, she's a cool bitch. But could do without the severe blonde bob. Especially in these current times where that haircut has bad connotations. Okay, now Giselle's girls do not want her back with Jamal. We always, we knew this from before. They're not excited. She says that she saw that movie, The Parent Trap, and she thought, she always thought that was the dream of the children of divorce, to see mom and dad get back together. But her girls are like, no, he hurt you. No, he cheated. He made you miserable. He made you cry. He's our dad. We may love him. We don't want you two together. We don't want you to get hurt again. They're smart girls. Those girls are very mature for their age. They are. And I've said it before, she's done a great job with them. She really has. Okay, now we go to Wendy's house. Wendy, she's amazing. I have a little girl crush on Wendy. So her kids are learning to speak Igbo, which is one of the Nigerian tribal languages, one of the 3 main languages in Nigeria. And they're learning from their grandmother, Susan. And Wendy was born in Nigeria and came with her mother to the United States when she was a toddler. Her husband, Eddie, who's an attorney, both of his parents are also Igbo from Nigeria, but he was actually born here. So they share that culture in common. But neither of them, I don't believe either of them speak Igbo. I don't think Wendy speaks Igbo either, or maybe she speaks a little. So she wants to make sure that the children of 2 Igbo people from Nigeria, that the 2 boys, learn to speak the language, which is fantastic. Millions of people speak Igbo. It's a good language to know. So she also has a little girl, Cameron, the newborn. Remember, she had her baby very close to the time Ashley had her little boy, Dean. Very, very sweet little girl. Okay. So you can tell that Wendy's boys are a handful. I don't know how she does it, but her husband Eddie seems amazing. He seems really sweet, and they seem like a great couple. They seem like a great family. And then her mother Susan shows up to give the Igbo lessons to the kids, and her mom is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Susan's beautiful, beautiful lady. Now, Candiace and Chris, or Snake and Chris, because I like Chris. Chris is a nice guy. Okay, Candiace and Chris are in a children's clothing store buying things for Chris's little girl. He has 3 children. She doesn't really talk about 2 out of the 3, but I guess one of them is a little girl, and she says that that's her, her special daughter. And she feels very connected to her, and she was also a stepdaughter, so she knows how important the bond is between a stepchild and a stepparent. And I have a stepson who I love very much, and who lived with us when he was a teenager, and who was always with us a lot. And I married his dad when he was only 5 years old, so it was amazing because I didn't have kids. I always wanted to have kids, and I was like, oh, ready-made 5-year-old. And he was the sweetest, sweetest little thing. I mean, I could not have been luckier. And yeah, he's still amazing, and actually listens to me, actually believes I'm wise, which is amazing. I love that about him. Anyway, okay. So while they're there buying gifts for Chris's daughter, Candiace's stepdaughter, she's like, well, let's buy a little something for Dean, for Ashley's son. And she kind of buys a real half-ass gift. She buys a little pair of blue booties, which, okay, I mean, Ashley said no gifts. I just wouldn't, just don't buy a gift. If you're going to buy something really dumb like that, don't buy it. I mean, if I'm doing that and I'm going and breaking the rules, it's because I've got something really special, not because I'm trying to show off, but because I've really put a lot of thought into it and I'm showing love in a specific, special way. You know, a pair of blue knit booties are not, they're probably $12, are not really showing anything to Ashley. I don't know. Anyway, okay, now we are back at Monique's house and she is with T'Challa, the African gray parrot. I love them so much. I told you I've had parrots, and African grays are so special. They're so smart and they're so affectionate, and you can train them. Just like Monique is totally training the parrot, and you know, he's riding on her shoulder on a little leash. You can totally do that with an African gray. African grays are amazing. Yeah, my Jende Conure, not so much. They're a little more stubborn. They have their own mind. If they feel like attacking you and biting you, they will. So, Conures are not starter parrots. Conures are advanced parrots, but African grays are easy. They're good birds. Well, no parrots are easy, but African grays are very special. They're very lovely. Okay, so Karen comes over, and Monique comes to the door with T'Challa on her shoulder, and Karen has issues with the parrot. She fears the parrot. So Monique could have just left T'Challa in the cage, so she's doing that to kind of poke Karen a little bit, but anyway, the bird's not going to attack Karen, so Karen just gonna, I guess Karen's just going to have to get used to T'Challa. Okay. So we have two conversations going at the same time. We have Monique talking to Karen, and we have Candiace talking to Chris. And mainly, Monique is telling Karen, look, I'm really upset that Candiace did not tell me that she had this tight relationship with Charisse when she knew all this stuff was going on. It felt like she stabbed me in the back, which I totally get. I absolutely understand. In the meantime, Candiace is talking to Chris about being dragged by Monique and everybody at the party, about being dragged for not telling them that she was friends with Charisse when Charisse was attacking Monique and claiming she was having a side piece with her personal trainer running all around town. And then also they were really riding her hard for not apologizing to Ashley for the horrible things that she tweeted to her when she was in the hospital, or around the time she was in the hospital. Candiace tells Chris Monique is completely two-faced. You know, she's really nice to me when we're one-on-one, and I don't think that there's anything wrong. I don't think there's any stress between us, any drama between us, and then suddenly in front of the group, you know, she's got all these issues and brings up all these things. Again, hello, have you met Andy Cohen? Have you met the Real Housewives? That's the way the show operates. You should know that by now. This is not your first season, Monique. Now we have another cute little scene of Wendy in her house. She's getting ready, and she's going to go and be an expert on television. She's going to be a talking head, as they say. And she's going over what she's going to be talking about to her newborn baby girl. Not newborn, but very young baby girl, which is adorable. And she's talking to her like, and that's why the president should not have attacked LeBron James. It's just really cute. And I love it because Wendy's going on MSNBC. They show a clip of her from the show. So I'm just like, oh, girl, I love you. I have a crush on her. I hope she doesn't disappoint me, but right now, Wendy's stock is very, very high with me. Okay, all right, now, Giselle and her daughters are meeting Jamal to go out for Giselle's birthday. Now, apparently, even though they've been divorced for years, they always get together on Giselle's birthday. Apparently, Jamal and Giselle have always made a point of getting together with him on a regular basis so that they do co-parent. But I told you, the girls are just not into this. They don't trust him. They know his track record. And look, they saw, I'm sure, so many times their mother crying over him betraying her. So they are just, they're old enough and smart enough not just to be like, oh yay, mommy and daddy are together. No, they're not into this. They're very skeptical of Jamal. They're not being that warm to him. He's trying to impress them and do everything he can for them, because I'm sure they're trying to kind of slowly move toward getting back together. He just got this new position with this giant evangelical church in Atlanta, and I guess it's the highest position he's ever had. So I feel like Jamal is just kind of wife shopping, like, oh, well, in this position I need a wife, and he's thinking, oh, you know what, the best preacher's wife I ever had was Giselle, so let me just get her back. I don't know if at this point, I just don't know him well enough, other than his past. And his past would not lead me to believe that he would be faithful to her. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. She certainly, and again, I also wonder with her, is it that she loves him so much, or is it that she's gone around the block and she hasn't found anyone better? I just don't know. But I can tell you this, the girls are not here for it. So what Jamal does is he hires a yacht, and they go out on, I don't know, the Potomac probably, or the Chesapeake, probably the Potomac. And they go out on this beautiful yacht, and they have this dinner catered. So there's this awkwardness during the whole dinner. Okay, he pulls out this card and he presents it to the girls. He wants to give it to Grace, the eldest daughter, and she's like, no, I don't want to see it, I don't want to read it. I think she's afraid that the card says, we're going to be a family again, I'm marrying your mom, which is the girl's greatest fear. So I think the second daughter ends up reading it, and it says that you 3 girls are the owners of a restaurant in Atlanta. So I guess, I'm assuming, as an investment for their future. They're teenage girls, they're not going to move to Atlanta and run a restaurant. But, I guess it's probably he probably bought it, it's up and running, it's got management, he probably bought it with staff in place, and this will be like a legacy for the girls. It'll be an investment for their future. A restaurant is a very iffy investment to give your children for a future, because the failure rate on restaurants is 90% in the United States. Yeah, my husband's a restaurant attorney, so it's one of the riskiest types of business you could ever go into. But you know what? God bless the girls, and I hope that this restaurant does very well, and I hope that it's a great investment for their future. So, it's a nice gesture on his part. They're not that excited. Let's just say they're not that excited by it. Okay, now, the sip and see, or the sip and see you later. Candiace shows up. She is extremely cold. She's very, very reticent. She doesn't really seem to know how to hold a baby all that well. The baby is immediately fussy. Ashley makes an excuse and takes the baby back. She's probably thinking, please don't put any horrible spell on my baby, you witch. But anyway, she makes the gesture. She makes the attempt. With the, oh, hold the baby, cute Dean, yeah, okay. Karen looks really cute in her little Fendi kind of strapless thing with her, normally that kind of spirally perm hair would not be something that I would like, but she looks cute, she looks young, she looks fresh. Yeah, I'm gonna give Karen a little slow clap for that outfit. So does Wendy. She's got a really, really pretty kind of forest green dress with like palm tree print on it, and it just goes beautifully with her skin and her hair. She looks very, very nice. Monique looks gorgeous. She's wearing just the right color of yellow. It's a very bright, vivid yellow, and it's stunning on her. She is so beautifully put together. Again, the hair, the makeup, the dress, everything. She's just always styled immaculately. I'm sure she has people always do her hair and makeup, but I think she picks her own clothes. I don't think she has a stylist. I think she actually styles herself. I don't know. But she has impeccable taste. And when they're filming her, she's sitting on a sofa, she has these beautiful kind of yellow flowers sitting behind her on a table that are the exact same color as her dress. And I just noticed these things because she's just so pretty. She's so pretty. All right. It's really funny because Karen, every time she meets Wendy, is like, oh, uh-huh. And Wendy will try to bring up something like, remember, I just saw you a few nights ago at the dinner party and we were talking about relationships. And Karen's always like, huh, yeah, nice to see you. Karen plays this game where she pretends not to know Wendy. And again, Wendy is the total package. She is brilliant. She has money. She has the gorgeous man in the family, and she's a professor at Johns Hopkins, and she's an expert on MSNBC. Come on, this woman is, top tier. And I think Karen doesn't like to feel that someone else might be at the higher level than the grande dame. So she's doing it deliberately. She knows she's doing it. All right. Now, oh God, Charisse shows up. Oh, Charisse. Can I tell you how disappointed I am about Charisse? I loved Charisse when she was on the show. I loved her. She was so sweet and so just a good person, just good people. And I don't know where this angry Charisse, who's just attacking Monique and wanting to tear her down for no apparent reason other than jealousy. I don't know who she is, even the way she's acting and her kind of the smugness and all that. I don't know who this is. I don't know if her divorce made her bitter. I don't want to think about that happening to women. I don't think about divorce changing a woman and making them bitter. It shouldn't. You should. I mean, look, realistically it does. I guess in some cases it does, but I don't know. Anyway, but I was so on her side. I was such a Charisse fan. And this Charisse, I don't even know her. Okay, so Ashley did warn Monique that Charisse was coming. And Monique is very understanding. She's just happy that Ashley told her. And Monique said, look, I understand that, Ashley and Charisse have had a friendship of a few years through the show. I don't know if they knew each other before the show. I don't think so. But they were pretty close on the show. And through the show, they became friendly. And so, it's awkward. Well, especially between Charisse and Monique. Even though Monique says she doesn't have a problem with Charisse being there, it is immediately obvious as soon as she comes in, and Monique makes a comment about Charisse being the Oompa Loompa coming into the room, so, right there. Anyway, but Ashley goes ahead and takes control of the situation and goes ahead and says in front of everybody, which Candiace hates when you address things to the group, Ashley says, Candiace, everyone feels you have a really hard time taking accountability for anything. Dangerous words. Remember, Candiace is the Dorinda of Real Housewives of Potomac, and if you confront her with something, she is going to fight with everything she's got. So, yeah, and Monique jumps in and says, yeah, Candiace, you want everything on your terms. You're like, I don't want to talk about that now. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that in private. And so Monique kind of slams her for that. And you can tell Monique is ready to kind of go in on her. And you know what? Candiace, you are a biatch, and my money is on Monique. I don't think you could stand up to Monique. I think that if you get into a big argument with Monique, Monique will crush you. Not like in a physical sense or not in a nasty sense, but just you're not a match for Monique, in my humble opinion. Okay. Now, interesting, Wendy is kind of like in the middle. She's the Sutton, if you will, of the Real Housewives of Potomac, because, she's new, she's kind of feeling her way. But she does feel comfortable saying, Candiace, I don't think Monique is your friend. Well, duh. I mean, Monique is pretty passive aggressive with Candiace now over the whole Charisse thing. But, you know, Wendy's kind of trying to kind of venture in. You know, it's like she's got to kind of, in these situations, in these group situations, it's so hard to be the new housewife, because even though Wendy is brilliant and she could speak extemporaneously on any subject before thousands of people and, you know, address Johns Hopkins University students or faculty even, it's different in a social situation. It can be uncomfortable. So I understand, but she is trying to kind of make her voice heard. She's basically like, well, I don't want to just sit in the background. That's not who I am at all. And I understand. Okay. Candiace decides that after this little bit of pushing, it's not that much. No one raises their voice. Nothing's ugly. No knives are thrown. Candiace decides that she's had enough and she's going to leave. She gets up and leaves. Karen makes an attempt to kind of go after her, but she's like, no, she's had enough. And Giselle says she's acting like a baby. This is not even that tough of a situation. She can't even handle this. This isn't even that heated. And she immediately gets up. It's like, I'm going to go. Okay. Now, shock. Ashley actually goes outside to comfort Candiace. Ashley, she is a better person than I am. Ashley, you really are a better person than I am. I'd be like, just let her go. Bye. Bye, girl. But she goes outside. She wants to comfort her. She wants to make sure that she's okay. I am shocked. She's being so nice to Candiace. And you know, Candiace still doesn't want to have like a big, you know, oh, I'm sorry, Ashley, I'm sorry for the things I wrote to you. She's still, when Ashley leaves her sippancy and goes all the way down from the penthouse to the ground and meets her outside, where I guess Candiace is waiting for her car, and says, you know, that she's concerned, is she okay? And Candiace still won't take that opportunity to say, you know what, I'm sorry, those tweets that I sent were really harsh and they were probably inappropriate. I don't know where my mind was. I'll tell you, she lost her damn mind. That's where her mind was. Okay. Meanwhile, upstairs, Giselle is causing trouble by bringing up the Charisse and Monique thing. And now Monique is leaving. She's like, because Charisse is like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? There's no tension between Monique and I. What do you mean? Charisse has been the biggest pot stirrer of this whole thing about Monique with the personal trainer. She is the broadcast journalist of this story, and she's sitting there and saying, I don't know what you mean. Again, I don't know this Charisse. This is a different Charisse than the one that was on the show. I'm glad she's not on the show anymore. Okay, so Monique is now pissed off, and Monique leaves. I understand. Okay, and now we're back downstairs again with Ashley and Candiace, and Ashley is apologizing to Candiace. I cannot remember what Ashley did to Candiace that she should apologize for. Whatever it was something really small, because I can't even remember it. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, Charisse is now, once Monique leaves, she's like, I don't understand this. I don't know why she left. I mean, why would she do that? Why would she leave? Shut up. Shut up. You completely stabbed her in the back. You know you stabbed her in the back. You tried to destroy her family. Shut up. I can't stand that. Like, what? What? Me? Huh? And again, I used to love Charisse, so this is very disappointing. But anyway, so again, did I not tell you that Potomac brings the drama? It brings the glamour, it brings the drama. The ladies are just, I think these ladies are so interesting. I just love this crowd. And, you know, because New York, I hate to say this, because New York was for a long time my favorite franchise. it's just turning into a big alcoholic festival, and they have no style anymore. They're just all frumpy. They're just like kind of all frumpy old drunks, except for Leah. So that's not fun. And again, they're all younger than me, I should add. But anyway, so it's just not what I want from the show. And I'm still watching it. It would take a lot. I mean, I'll probably watch the Real Housewives of New York until they yank it off the air, just because of habit, I don't know, affection, old-timey nostalgia, I don't know. But this season has surprisingly been completely reversed, because Beverly Hills is the one that's interesting, even though it's frustrating the hell out of me. Beverly Hills is so interesting, and the level of the style and glam is so high, and New York is just, it's El Torito and TJ Maxx, and again, remember, nothing wrong with TJ Maxx. My racks are full of TJ Maxx finds, but I'm just saying it's not what we've come to expect. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I love spending time with you. Please be sure to just slide that finger over and press the red subscribe button. That would mean so much to me. It's really it's a source of great happiness when I get a new subscriber. And also, if you do subscribe, please go down into the comments and tell me your name. Say, hi, my name is so-and-so. I've just subscribed, so that I can give you a personal thank you in the comments, or maybe even in the recaps. But do like, comment, subscribe. Lots more coming in the next few days. And most importantly, be good, but not too good.